There we go. We're live, and it's Wednesday, the 29th of May, and probably the latest live stream I've done in a while. It's just been a busy day with the voting and everything else that's happening in South Africa. Got so much in my heart, and I really feel gratitude, a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the amazing things that God has done in my life or is busy doing. So, welcome to this talk. If this is the first time that you're listening to me, I'm Kenneth. I'm a pastor. Ek praat Afrikaans ook so bietjie eintlik baie. Ek's meer 'n boertjie as 'n soutie. But my talk tonight is about harnessing the power of gratitude and using this tool to transform your life today. And in the description, I wrote the following. I said, gratitude's more than just a feeling. It's actually a weapon that can change our perception of reality. So today we're going to explore how gratitude can turn even our deepest struggles into our greatest strengths. So I've got a few things I'd just quickly like to share with you on this. The first one is that there's power in perception. So I've heard this saying, and I believe it's a recovery saying, a recovery principle. It says that suffering lies not in the fact, but in the perception of the fact. Suffering lies not in the fact, but in the perception of the fact. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, transforming our perspective. So if we're trying to be grateful for the things that happens to us, we will soon realize that those things did not happen to us, but they are actually happening for us. And the main reason for that is the fact that God uses pain to bring transformation, to create a desperation in our hearts to seek more of Him and to draw closer to Him and to desire to have His presence in our life. And if we do that, then absolutely He will use the pain in our life and transform it into purpose. So that's the first thing, that there's power in perception, the way we see things, the way we look at things. The second one is transformative trials. It's the second point. So with hard work and a grateful heart, hard work on ourselves in a space that is accountable, and we are charged to take responsibility and to be mature and grown up in that sort of space. The trials can be very transformative. So, with hard work and a grateful heart, even the trials of addiction can become transformative. These challenges can be the very things that lead us to our greatest growth. So, in my life, absolutely, I love to prefer referring to my past addictive behaviors as the gift of addiction. This sounds completely insane. Kenneth, what's wrong with you? How can you call this horrible thing called addiction that causes so much heartache, pain, desperation, rejection, isolation? How can you call this a gift of addiction? Because without this addiction, I would not have discovered the life that I'm currently living. I would not have been able to enjoy the privileges of having God in my life and being taught these principles and being able to make a massive difference in the lives of so many people. And that's truly a gift, and it's a blessing. And I feel very, very, very grateful to be able to help people in this sort of area in my life. This is an absolute calling for me, absolute passion. And yeah, and I mean, I'm just working with a phenomenal team of people who also all have had their fair share of pain and disappointment and rejection in life. And yeah, so we need to tap into the transformative power of our trials. So the first point was there's power in our perception, the way we see things. And there we spoke about that suffering lies not in the fact, but in the perception of the fact. Second point is that trials can bring transformation. Romans 8:28 comes to mind there, where it says, God can work all things together for good to those who love Him. And then the third thing is that in these addiction issues, there can be divine direction. So God does not allow anything to happen to us that He cannot use and work together for our good and allow us to become more like Him. So when we allow God to work his way into our lives, even through the most difficult and dangerous and challenging and treacherous circumstances, our burdens can become blessings. Guys, how amazing is this that your burden, the burden of addiction, the fact that you are compulsively addicted and hooked to unwanted sexual behaviors like watching pornography and viewing, I don't know, viewing stuff online and doing all these horrible things, or maybe even it's an affair or it's a past affair. Like, how amazing is it that God can use those burdens to become blessings in your life, to become a source of amazing depth and insight and understanding, that you could be called to go through this process so that you can save your own children from a world that is falling apart. Listen, yeah, there's no child that will escape the claws of addiction, and especially pornography and sexual addiction. The writings on the wall, your child will be exposed to this stuff, regardless of your best efforts. And if you have gone through this process and you have learned how to deal with your own burdens, turning them into blessings, then you can do the same for your child. And this way, we will be starting a massive movement of people who are making a massive difference in this world. So gratitude opens the door to divine intervention and guidance. Like, Kenneth, how do I get to this place of appreciating this addiction and embracing the gift that this addiction wants to give me? And the key is one thing, and that is gratitude. How horrible truth is that? Say thank you, Jesus, that you've allowed me to get into contact with people who can help me to transform the suffering into meaning. So if you're struggling and you need support, whether the struggle is all about discovering that you have an intimate partner who's been betraying on you with pornography and affairs or prostitution or whatever, emotional connection that's unwanted, if you're struggling with this type of issues and you need support, then please do reach out to me. I'd love to help you, love to support you. I'd like to walk this adventurous journey with you together. And like to help you find the power of gratitude to transform your life. So you're welcome to contact me at Grace Online for counseling and support. We're not a counseling center. We are a movement of men where women ferociously inject their voices to to help us navigate men towards becoming the best version of themselves. And we are sold out to this purpose, and our hearts is set on making an impact, not just nationally, but all across the world. Thanks so much for listening to me. I hope you have a phenomenal evening, and I hope that you did your voting um, thing to make a small difference in this world. Have a good evening, and thanks for listening to me. Cheers, everyone.